Hello and welcome to Indonesia Now. Selamat berjumpa lagi. I'm Andini Effendi and a special welcome to our viewers in Melbourne. Indonesian military officials announced on Tuesday that they are pulling out of the search and recovery operation of AirAsia flight QZ8501 a month after the plane crashed in the Java Sea. The Indonesian Navy's Western Fleet Commander Rear Admiral Widodo said the decision to withdraw was made after unsuccessful attempts to lift the fuselage. Widodo apologized to the families for being unable to retrieve all the bodies. Divers have checked the fuselage, saying they found no remains inside. So far, only 70 bodies out of the 162 people on board have been recovered. However, on Wednesday, the Indonesian Search and Rescue Agency Basarnas said they will continue the looking for victims for at least another week. West Java Police and the Indonesian Food and Drug Agency BPOM raided a factory in Sumedang on Tuesday after traces of hazardous chemicals were found in its noodles. The chemical, known as formaldehyde or formalin, is normally used for embalming bodies. BPOM confiscated 1.7 tons of noodles, 3 bottles of formaldehyde chemicals, and a sack of borax. The noodles are usually distributed to several areas in West Java, including Garut and Bandung. Police also arrested the owner of the factory, who is facing 5 years in jail under food law charges if found guilty. A soldier from the town of Jayapura, Papua on Wednesday was caught selling ammunition to members of the separatist organization OPM. Papua police also arrested 3 members of the group at the location. All 4 suspects attempted to escape from the authorities. Police then searched the home of the officer and found more hidden ammunition. The soldier is now detained at the local army base, while the 3 separatist members are being questioned by the Papua police. The Indonesian Trade Ministry on Monday banned the import of apples from California, United States, after it was alleged they contain harmful bacteria. The Royal Gala and Granny Smith varieties are contaminated with the Listeria bacteria that have triggered an outbreak in 11 states in the U.S. At least 7 people were killed and dozens others hospitalized in the last 3 months. The bacteria causes symptoms such as high fever, headaches, and diarrhea. The government will lift the import ban once the U.S. declares that the apples are safe to consume. U.S. Ambassador to Indonesia Robert Blake echoed his country's concerns and praised the Indonesian government's efforts to stop the distribution of the apples. Meanwhile, in Bogor, West Java, trade officials raided fruit retailers in the city. They found some still selling the banned apples and confiscated the fruits. Are you looking for some me time away from your feline but don't want to worry the whole time? Indonesia Now's Rachel Dexter visits a business providing care for cats while their owners are away.
It's been said that dogs have masters while cats have servants. Nowhere is that more true than at this cat clinic in Bogor, West Java. Pakuan Animal Clinic and Cat Distro was set up in April 2013 and caters for high-maintenance breeds. Owners can go on holidays knowing their pedigree kitties are in good hands.
Awalnya sih dari hobi ya, saya kan hobi dengan terutama kucing ya, sehingga karena di Bogor ini terutama masih jarang ya untuk penitipan khusus kucing, jadi ya ide saya sih awalnya ingin menyediakan pelayanan khusus untuk kucing.
The animals have every need tended to, with facilities including a vet clinic, a grooming service, and a pet shop. 2 veterinarians and 3 paramedics care for and often spoil the lucky creatures. Each arrival has a health check before settling into their holiday home, with any health problems treated by the staff.
Kelihatannya sih bersih, rapi, aman, nyaman juga buat kucingnya. Jadi ya sampai nggak apa-apa lah terus ini.
The accommodation price for overnight cat care is 50,000 rupiah, or around $4 US. Rachel Dexter, Metro TV.
Asia's markets mostly fell this week. Here's a quick rundown of the week-on-week numbers. Indonesia Now will continue shortly with Asia's top stories, including a deadly clash that killed dozens of Filipino policemen. And also, I talked with author of best-selling novel Supernova, Dewi Lestari.
Membahas garis rancang dan desain arsitektur yang inovatif. Karakter dan style dalam penataan interior. Home makeover dengan keberanian dan kreativitas.
Dapatkan selalu inspirasi dari kami
setiap hari Minggu jam 10.05 pagi, tentunya hanya di Dulux Let's Color.
New Era Boot bahan original. New Era lebih kuat.
New Era kuat.
New Era lebih elastis.
New Era elastis.
Yang penting soal New Era lebih keras dan lebih tahan lama. New Era Boots, terbukti yang terbaik.
Dalam rangka Hari Kanker Sedunia, berbagai masalah yang berhubungan dengan kanker nasofaring akan dibahas mendalam oleh Dr. Liu Zhengping, perwakilan dari Rumah Sakit Kanker Fuda di Guangzhou untuk Indonesia. Secret of Health, Hari Kanker Sedunia, hari ini jam 9:30 pagi. Mengawal pemerintahan baru, hadir setiap Senin di minggu pertama jam 8 malam.
You're watching Indonesia Now from Jakarta. Our Asia Watch begins in the Philippines. In the Philippines, the country's special police force chief was suspended on Tuesday after a clash in the southern region killed over 40 of his force last week. 49 Special Action Force commandos were killed in a 12-hour shootout in Mamasapano town with suspected Islamic rebels. An investigation has been ordered into the firefight despite a peace treaty between the government and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. SAF Director Leo Napenas instigated the hunt for Jemaah Islamiyah leaders Zulkifli bin Hir and Abdul Basit Usman without the approval of top police officials. Local media is calling the incident the Maguindanao massacre. Parts of China witnessed their first snowfall of the winter earlier this week. In East China's Anhui province, many cities were hit by snow on Tuesday morning. Though the snow thawed on Wednesday, icy roads and poor visibility caused traffic problems in the area. Regions in central China's Henan province were also affected by heavy snow or blizzards. Since Tuesday night, the snow forced 15 expressways in the province to close. Experts from across Latin America gathered on Tuesday on board the Peace Boat in El Callao, Peru, to discuss future disaster response strategies with their Japanese counterparts. The meeting was co-organized by the United Nations. Officials debated proposals on how to reduce risk from disasters, such as strengthening rescue and recovery procedures and the construction of more resilient structures. Yosuke Tanaka, who captains the Peace Boat, said the experience gained by coordinating humanitarian aid following the March 2011 earthquake in Japan was important in reducing risk of future disasters. She's the author of the best-selling Supernova novel series, as well as a singer and songwriter. I spoke to Dewi Lestari and asked about her current work on the final Supernova novel.
The main idea is already there with me since 2001 when I started my first Supernova. But of course, the detail will only appear when I started the writing process. Then, of course, there's also a mapping process that I need to do, and that's very general actually. I think most writers do that also. We have to make Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and making the the chart or a diagram of how the scene flows will be like. And so that's the kind of work that I'm doing now. I don't know. I don't want to promise when, because then the whole readers will bark on me about when the book is coming out. So all I can say is that I'm working on the 6th episode of Supernova now. Yeah.
Why do you think that your readers enjoy it so much?
I'm not really sure why. Because my main principle when I write a book is I just write something that I want to read. The story has to excite me first, and hopefully it'll excite the readers afterwards, after I release the story. So I think there are these little elements that I always put in my stories, and those elements are the quest of looking for our inner truth. There's always been that theme around Supernova series, and various places. I rarely do my story in one setting, but I make my characters travel from one place to another. And what else? There's always a little bit of love story in it, and humor. There was just like little elements that I love to find when I read a book, and I decide to pour them in my writings.
Do you think that your readers getting more and more enjoyed the local writers, local science fiction writers?
I may not categorize my work as science fiction, although a lot of people said that Supernova is like the only prominent science fiction in Indonesia, but actually Supernova was never meant to be a science fiction, but it's more like a urban spiritual themed story. So of course, because I love science and I do some scientific chit chat happened in my story, but that doesn't make my stories science fiction. But anyway, I think the readers now is very critical, and they're a bit more demanding. Like, okay, I want this in Indonesia book, and I heard many readers told me that you're the only Indonesian books that I read. I rarely read Indonesian books, so they have like this standard or somewhat that what they want to have in the story, and I think Supernova came as a surprise for most people because maybe the theme is not so common, and the various settings that I use in Supernova makes it feels like a universal. It invokes universal feelings in my readers, maybe. But what can I say? I think that question is better be judged by the readers and not myself.
Do you think, as a writer, do you feel that you have certain restrictions when you write a book?
Well, particularly with Supernova, I have that feeling, like, am I going to be trapped within the series for the longest time? Like, it's been with me for 13 years now. But now that it's about to end, the separation anxiety started to kick in. I feel like, I'm gonna miss this series actually, and I feel like, okay, am I going to continue it or just ending it? That dilemma also happened to me, but I never felt constricted in a way that I'm restricted just to one type of novel, because I wrote Supernova. Outside Supernova, I wrote Recto Verso, Filosofi Kopi, and Perahu Kertas, which is like very contrasting with Supernova kind of theme, and I don't have any problem with that.
Not only an author, but you're also a songwriter. Okay, so is your creative process of writing songs and writing books is sort of similar?
There are similarities. Idea struck us everywhere, anywhere. Whether it was a song, whether it was a poem, whether it was a prose or a novel. But I felt that novel needs more a certain mentality to it. I have this analogy. So for writing a novel, you have to have that marathon spirit. You have to foresee that this is going to be a long journey, and you have to have that endurance and strength to go on. As you know, where in music or songwriting, it's more like a flash. It came you like a stroke of lightning, and then you have to just pour your heart out into the piano and then start doing it. Maybe 1 day or 2 days or 3 days at the most. Probably some editing with the lyrics for 1 week, but it's done. But with novel, it's very different. You have to work on it for months and months, even years. And I must say that now I'm getting used to it. There were times where I felt like I couldn't write a short fiction because that took like a different muscle memory, it's like a sprint runner with a marathon runner. Even though they're both runners, but they're actually doing very different muscle and different type of endurance. So I had that adjustment when I was about to write my first short story collection.
And then some of your books are brought into the big screen, which is coming up soon, is the Philosophy Copy.
Yes.
So as a writer, do you feel that you don't have much to say in terms of their creative work, because this is a completely different genre, right? And how do you feel though, as the person who wrote the story?
Well, I think it really depends on the deal that I have with the producers. Some deals include me, like Perahu Kertas. I was involved formally as the screenplay writer, so I need to be inside the production process. But there are some titles that I don't involve myself because, some other factors, usually because it always coincides with my writing process, and, I have to choose my priority because I believe that, in movie industry, it was a work of so many people in it, but nobody can replace me in writing my own novel. So I need to say, okay, I cannot involve in this one. But I think I came to an understanding that it's really different things, and what they were doing is actually adapting my story. So they're not like creating each page into visualizing each page of my book. That's not how things work.
And if you know the answer to this question, send it to us via Twitter @Indonow. Which number is Gelombang in the Supernova series? Be the lucky few to get a signed copy of Supernova Gelombang by D. Lestari. More Indonesia Now shortly. We take a look at an Australian version of football being played in Jakarta and visit the third deepest lake in Indonesia for a relaxing weekend.
Trivago membantu kamu mencari hotel ideal di mana saja. Cukup pilih kriteria hotel yang kamu inginkan dan Trivago membandingkan harga hotel di lebih dari 150 situs. Ini cara Trivago menemukan harga terbaik. Hotel Trivago.
Sakit kepala, migrain, pilih Poldanme. Poldanme, obat sakit kepala dan sakit kepala sebelah akibat migrain.
Untuk sakit kepala saya tidak pernah ambil pusing, kan ada Poldanme.
Poldanme, pol.
Minum saja Poldanme. Blender, Mas Pion yang anti pecah.
Anak-anak Anda bisa membuat jus sendiri.
Cintailah produk-produk Indonesia.
Temukan beragam ulasan dan fakta-fakta seputar olahraga, komunitas, dan alat olahraga unik. Sport Max, hari ini jam 12:30 siang. Mario Teguh Golden Ways, Minggu jam 7:30 malam.
This is Indonesia Now. I'm Andini Effendi in the Jakarta studios of Metro TV, Indonesia's pioneering news channel. Have you ever heard of Australian football? The game is a mix of soccer and rugby. Indonesia Now's Alex Darling reports on the Australian sport that's been played in Jakarta for over 20 years now.
Australian football was first played in 1858 and came to Indonesia when the Jakarta Bintangs Club was set up in 1995. Many Australian expats play for the Bintangs as a way of connecting with Australia while in Jakarta.
Playing Oz Rules football in Indonesia is introducing a different culture and something that's quite different to Australia to a new sport, an exciting sport, and something that's very close to a lot of Australians.
The Bintangs celebrated their 20th anniversary with a match against the national team, the Garudas, on Australia Day weekend last Saturday.
Saya pilih Putih karena dia lebih asik, lebih banyak lari, dan di situ lebih banyak body contact. Habis gitu di situ lebih banyak mark yang bisa lebih dari basket. Juga perbedaan dari bola juga, bola sedikit agak kurang.
But it's not just expats that Australian football appeals to. Indonesian kids are increasingly giving AFL, or footy as it's known, a go. The Bintangs train at 6:30 every Thursday night at the Senayan hockey field. Once a month, they run a local league, the ANZ Cup, and help Jakarta residents learn this unique and exciting team sport. Visit the player recruitment page at www.bin.info on other events this year, how to join, and when they play. Alex Darling, Metro TV.
Now for a check of these special events coming up in the week ahead. One of Indonesia's biggest gemstone exhibitions will be held at the Bekasi Junction Mall, West Java, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. next Thursday to Sunday. Runners, be prepared. Semarang will be hosting the Color Run Splash next Sunday at the PRPP Stadium. It will start at 5 p.m. Entry is $10. And the Gugun Blues Shelter Band, as well as artists Kunto Aji and Endah Resa, will power up the Batik Musical Night next Saturday at the Pajajaran Stadium, Bogor, West Java. In this week's destination, we head to Central Sulawesi to the golden sands and calming waves of Lake Poso. Metro TV's Kartini Sri Citra guides us there.
Lake Poso, or Danau Poso as it is known locally, spans an area of 32,000 hectares in central Sulawesi and can be reached by a 90-minute drive south of Poso City. The lake has pleasant, cool weather all year round, though it is at its most picturesque when the yellow sand on its shores is clearest. In the middle of the lake, the water is deep blue in color. Visitors can cruise through these waters on a rented boat to catch spectacular views of the coastal mountain range. On the banks of Danau Poso, however, the water appears green. With its peaceful, ocean-like coastline, Lake Poso is sure to help even the most stressed out of travelers and city dwellers relax. Kartini Sri Citra, Metro TV.
And it is feedback time. Dion tweeted this. I like Indonesia Now. It's really inspiring. Thank you, Dion. Rafiq tweeted this. Indonesia Now is a really good program and gives us inspiration. Keep watching then, Rafiq. Send all your comments, questions, and story ideas with name and city to indonesia@metrotvnews.com. Our webpage can be found at metrotvnews.com/indonesianow. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter. To celebrate the upcoming Chinese New Year, a Cheongsam exhibition was opened on Monday evening at the Henan Museum in Zhengzhou. Cheongsams are body-hugging one-piece Chinese dresses for women. The exhibition put on display a total of 132 pieces of clothing in two categories, traditional and modern. A number of models also paraded in the stunning Chinese clothing on the catwalk. The exhibition will run until March 15th. That's This Week Indonesia Now. Thank you for watching. I'm Andini Effendi. Sampai jumpa lagi.